All right, Kevin back with you for another episode. And today I am here with my friend, Jesse Eker. Jesse, man, welcome. Great to have you here, man.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here and talk to your audience and just have fun with you, man. It's been a long time and I'm looking forward to connecting again.
Same, man. I'll tell you, you're right. It has been a while and time just flies. I'm just like, man, because you and I met at Andy and them's Bug-Free Mastermind in Vegas, and that was in 2016. And so I'm just like, dang, where did 6 years go, man? Because it doesn't seem like it was that long ago.
I know, so crazy.
And I'll tell you, I'm really excited to have this conversation with you today. What I'd like to do is just kind of start when I'll just set the stage, set some context. I want to have you talk a little bit about what you do, who you serve, what motivates you to do what you do, and just kind of let everybody, have some context and kind of find out a little bit about who Jesse Eker is.
Yeah, thanks so much, Kevin. So what I currently am most focused on right now is helping industry experts use online workshops to get more coaching, consulting, or even course customers. So we really specialize in taking really experiential online workshops and putting them online and really helping people monetize their audience and as well grow their audience as well.
Very good. How long have you been doing that, Jesse?
So I transitioned in early 2020. So kind of perfect timing.
Right.
Like literally my first go at launching my new campaign was January 2020. And then March came and was like, holy crap. Okay, we are doubling down on this and going as hard as possible because everyone was at home. So that's when we really started to, make market position and do really well with it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what has been, because 2020 is certainly not your introduction to marketing or anything like that. I mean, you've got a long history of this stuff, but what has been the most rewarding thing about this whole experience for you so far, Jesse?
The most rewarding experience for me, there's so many. On a personal side, I come from my dad's T. Harv Eker. He ran one of the largest events company in the world. And so my childhood was a lot where he was on the road and he was on the move all the time. And so one of the most rewarding things for me has been able to do my work in an office that's attached to my house and go out and hang out with my kids and my wife and not skip a beat. So that's been one of the most rewarding things, is like financial success with feeling like I have it all right next to me. And like travel is more like a choice instead of a necessity. So that's kind of one of my big personal things. On a business standpoint, there's so many, but like there's two. Like when someone nails it, right, and someone just gets it and they get a result, I don't think there's anything better than watching your students succeed. So it's one thing for you to do well, but it's a whole nother world getting someone else to do well and them changing their life and them having the success. So obviously, like, those motivate me and those keep me going, and those are, my indirect impact on the world as well.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of guys and gals too, probably, preaching this whole hustle and grind thing. And that's cool, more power to them. Anybody who wants to do that, have at it. That's totally cool. But that's not really my bag. And I'm a family guy like you, Jesse. And I know we were talking about this before we hit the record button. I've got 7 kids. I've got 6 grandkids. I love being with family. And so that's really important to me. And it's really important to have a business that fits in and funds the kind of lifestyle that I really want to live too, while still allowing me to be able to do what I do and make the kind of impact in this world that I make there, and feel good about that too. And we really
Yeah.
can have it all. You know, I'm really blessed that I've had people in my life that had a message that resonated with me to let me know that, yeah, you don't have to hustle and grind if you don't want. You can, but you don't have to, and you can still have it all. So it's really cool to hear somebody else echoing, and I love it whenever I hear that, man. So thank
Yeah.
you. I feel like you're talking right to me, man. So that's
That's why
good.
we get along. That's why we get along.
Well, cool, cool. Okay, so let's shift gears just a little bit, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to reiterate the question for the benefit of all the listeners. And so, have you ever been introduced to a person that completely changed the course of your life or your business, so much so that much of what you have today would not be possible if not for this person? And Jesse, I'm just really excited to let you share your story, your experience around this, as well as be able to honor someone who's had such a profound impact on your life and on your business.
Yeah. So there's a funny story behind it.
Okay.
I was at Traffic and Conversion, and I was on my friend Pete Vargas's little party boat that he does every year.
Oh,
And on that party boat, I think he hosted with Keith as well. And on that party boat, I ran into a old acquaintance and someone that I've known for a while, Dan Martell. And Dan Martell is one of these SaaS gurus, and like he's incredibly smart. And I was like telling him, like, you know, I was transitioning from managing Harvecker online, co-created that with my dad, transitioning to like my next phase, but I wasn't sure what I was gonna do. I was very like uncertain and not sure, but I knew that I wanted to get into the coaching and service space. And so I was telling Dan about this, and he takes out his Voxer and he voxes his assistant, I think Kelsey or someone. He says, "Kelsey, introduce Jesse to Talkie More." And so basically I was introduced to Vanessa, who runs Talkie More's sales team. And I was telling her what I wanted to do. And I went in there, and within 90 days, I launched my first coaching program. And it totally put me on a trajectory of like where I'm at right now. Like it was like that. And you know, when I met Talkie and learned from him, and I'm still in his world a couple of years later, it's really put me like where I'm at right now. So I would say, you know, it's a twofold: Dan for the intro, but then Talkie for delivering.
yeah.
Like he's really one of the best, and really like the legend, I think, in the coach of coaches. He is really the premium coach to really help people grow their coaching business. I know he's moved in a little bit more to help people get to the first 10K, but beyond that, like he's just absolutely amazing at what he does. So
Awesome. You know, it's interesting because I've definitely heard Dan's name before. I don't know either Dan or Taki personally, but I've certainly
okay.
heard of both of them. And
Yeah.
I have also, I have other friends who have been in Taki's programs, and same way. I mean, like you, Jesse, they just rave about Taki. So
Yeah.
let's look, you know, because we're looking at this relationship with, you know, through Dan, that you got, you know, to start this relationship with Taki. You ended up starting this new business venture as a result of that. What are some of the things that have come to pass, and as a result, as a direct result of your relationship with Taki, that, you know, hands down would have never happened if that relationship was not in place?
Yeah, I mean, oh my God. Well, I don't think I would have had a coaching program. I think I would have had a course, because
Okay.
that was where I was. So that was a big one. So that means that I wouldn't be working with my clients, which I love working with them. So that's a huge one, is and of course you do, but it's more do it yourself versus like we do a lot of done with you and a lot of done for you. I think that my whole brand would have been completely different because like I went and started to nail in my online workshops and that position in the market. And I think, obviously what stemmed from that was a deeper understanding of how to attract coaching clients, because I only knew how to do mostly coach courses, how to sell with a little difference of like, how would I sell from a workshop versus like, how do I sell like, one-on-one with you? And then like my main thing was how do I deliver in a really repeatable way that's not one-on-one and customized? And so all of those things were so dialed in on his systems that when I first got in there, I was like, I am just going to model everything that you do. But it really gave me the confidence to start to adapt what he did, but then innovate on things that I started to feel comfortable with. And so I think he gave me like the benchmark of like, I'm going to help you build the skills, but once you have those skills, grow. Right.
Yeah.
And I just don't even know where I would be without that. And his whole community, I've met like a lot of amazing people through the community that have done podcasts through them, partners with them. They've guest spoke on my coaching. Like there's just been so much collateral from me just being in that program that it's kind of undescribable when you think about it. But basically everything from the last 2.5 years has come from, I think, stemming from that.
Yeah. Yeah. Any idea, do you have any number how many people have gone through your programs over this last 2.5 years so far?
Well, my online workshop, I would probably say we're probably close to like 90 clients, maybe pushing just over 100. It's pretty high end, so it's definitely expensive, but it's been great to work with the amount of people that we have and the quality of people that we have.
Yeah. And through them, see, and this is what I really love looking at is, so, this, we're talking about a single relationship here between you and Taki and kind of what's come from that, the clarity that you got about which way you wanted to be able to go that was in alignment with who you were and that would allow you to make the biggest impact you could make. And now because of who you're serving and in turn, who they get to impact, I mean, you really start looking at some compounding effect here, and that's when the value of relationships really, I mean, like, you look at all that's come from this one relationship.
I love that.
That's huge.
Yeah, and, crazy when you think about that. I love that.
Well, Jesse, so for anybody listening to this, it's like, man, Kev, you know what? I really like Jesse. I love the way that he shows up. I'd love to find out more about what he's got going on and stuff. I mean, how can people best find out more about what your guys are doing, Jesse?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, I'm pretty active on Facebook, and we have a Facebook group that you're more than welcome to join. And my personal profile, I do quite a bit of like sharing and stuff on there. So you could just look me up, Jesse, Jesse, last name's Eker, Eker. I'm also on Instagram. You're more than welcome to look me up there. It's Jesse_Eker. And I host a live workshop every single month. And so my live workshop every single month is really for teaching people how to design that workshop. So we do it in a very, very systematic way that really helps people design it correctly so that they're ready to launch it by the end of that workshop together. It's 2 hours together. It's super value packed. It's not a webinar. It is a workshop. Like we go through it and it's true value. And it's a great experience. So if you're interested in learning more about that, you could, I don't really have like a constant link for it, but we just do like the one-to-many method.com. Okay. That will probably forward you to it. So the one-to-many method.com, you could probably put /registration. That will go to our newest page, but the one-to-many method.com, I'll forward that to our landing page so that no one gets left behind.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Jesse, I really want to thank you for taking the time to have this conversation. Because like I said, the one thing I've come to realize over the years is that as entrepreneurs, as founders, as CEOs, the most valuable asset we have is relationships. And everything else stems from that. And you once again have provided such an amazing example of that. And so I want to thank you for taking the time to have this conversation. Any last words you'd like to share before we call it a wrap?
Well, thank you. Thank you for doing this. I mean, I think this twist and this unique approach to how you are giving gratitude to people is so much in your DNA. So like anything that I've ever seen from you has always been so much gratitude and thankfulness for people that you've met, people that you've connected with, people that you have served. And that's been your MO. And I love how you created a podcast around that. That is so cool and so awesome and just very much up your alley. So yeah, man, your brilliance is coming out. And I love that you're bringing other people into your zone of genius.
Well, I'll tell you, I really appreciate that. And I'll tell you, doing this podcast has definitely been one of the most rewarding things that I've ever done. And, it's been cool. And so many things have come from it as a result. So, well, Jesse, thanks so much again. Really appreciate it. Excited to share this episode with everybody.
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it.